Greetings, Gilliam the Rogue here once again with an update video. So, I haven't been uploading a lot of YouTube content lately. Many of you already know why. We had a video discussing that. I'm just going to be updating in terms of what has been accomplished, what's still being worked on, and kind of where we're headed. So, in terms of overall performance and kind of play that I'm putting into the game right now, I'm focused a lot on PvP and group content lately, so teaching players, doing veteran content with fans or pugs, going through teaching and stuff, and then in PvP, doing a lot of stuff with Deltia, doing a lot of stuff with my personal friends, learning the ins and outs of a much more dynamic system, so it's less about math and more about interaction and there's a lot of like psychology and stuff in terms of PvP. It's a really cool and fun system that I've been enjoying a lot. So in terms of guides and builds and YouTube content creation, still going to be doing ESO Let's Talk. Next video that will be published will be about enchants, so the different types, how they work, cooldown reductions, ways to make them stronger, yada yada. And then after that, we're going to move into the Dragonite one, the Dragonite class in terms of updates, what we've seen over the past year or so since I published the last one. And then after that, we're going to be focusing a lot on updating information as it comes. So like anytime a patch changes, anything, I'll be having briefer or more condensed ESO Let's Talks where it's like, hey, a new patch hit and 3 Nightblade skills change. So we'll have an ESO Let's Talk Nightblades patch 17 or whatever, where we talk about those things. Just to give you an idea of the way that I'll be building content in the future. And then what I've been doing a lot is written guides lately. So I haven't been doing videos. A lot of you already know, I just said that. But written guides I've been going ham at. So let's open that up. They're all on Deltia's website. So if you go to Deltia's website, deltiasgaming.com, /Elder Scrolls Online, you can see the link right there. It'll be in the description as well. Everything in terms of PvE builds has been updated by me, and a lot of the PvP builds have been updated by me if they're classes that I play regularly. So right now that's only Stamina Nightblade because that's pretty much all that I'm playing. I do have a Stamina Templar build that I'm working on finishing up, still learning some kinks in there. I'm working on a Stamina Sork. The build is fleshed out. I like how it performs. I just need to finish the character growth, like getting passives and boring stuff like that. And then Magic and Nightblade. So those will be the next written guides that I update for builds, and those are going to be, again, PvP builds. But everything in PvE, aside from Warden, which I will not be touching until a massive class rework happens. We don't know if that will. That's just a disclaimer. I will not be touching the Warden class until we see some big changes, because I'm not happy with how they're performing, and that's a discussion for another time. But if we look at the build section, so you just hover over Elder Scrolls Online, you go to builds, and then you can find everything in here. So tank, did Dragonite tank, did Nightblade tank, have not touched Templar because that's Deltia's, and again, not touching Warden. In PvP, the Stamina Nightblade has been removed because that is a part of the damage dealer tab now. Healer, I updated the battery, which is a Templar healer. I believe Deltia wants to update the Dragonite healer. And then I've updated Maj DK, Stam DK, Maj Nightblade, Stam Nightblade, Maj Sork, Stam Stork, Maj Plar, Stam Plar, and then again, leaving the Wardens alone. Furthermore, on top of updating class guides for DPS, heals, and tanks, I've also branched out into explaining more general, not so general, but like they're a part of base game. They are a part of standard combat, but explaining the more intricacies within them. And the first one that I published under that is under Tools and Guides, and it's under ESO Secondary and Status Effects. So I took a long time writing this. It refers to the Status Effect video that some of you have already seen. But I have gone to great lengths explaining the different types of status and secondary effects, talking about what they do, values behind them, and then as well as how they are applied. So there's a lot of really good information in here that will help you understand the game's combat a lot more. So I'll be doing a lot of more stuff about this, and then every time a patch happens, I'll obviously go through all of the build guides. That's usually going to be the primary focus. That takes the bulk of the time. Now, I have streamlined a lot of the information for each class so that they are easier to update as we move forward. So that should give me a lot more time to go into explaining cool, more important, in my opinion, stuff like this. So we're going to do one talking about weapon traits, how to get them, where they come from, what they do, some mathematical values behind them, where they're not strong. We'll do one for Mundus stones. Again, I'm going to have one in Elder Scrolls Let's Talk about the enchantment system, so like weapon enchants, what they do, how powerful they can become, how they operate, and then I'll make a written guide as well on the website that will be, again, most of that stuff is going to be underneath tools and guides so that you can understand that. So always open to new ideas. Please let me know what you guys would want to see. I've also updated a lot of guides to have rotations in their written descriptions, as well as you've already seen on the channel. So if you have idea for content in terms of what you want to see most, again, let me know in the comments section. I always try and build in terms of what people want to a certain degree. I do like doing my own thing. I'm never going to change. I always like long-winded videos, always want to focus on the more math and theoretics rather than just, hey, here's a cool, fun build. Like, yeah, making cool, fun builds is great, but I'm more of the efficient kind of guy. I like doing things with purpose and with efficiency, so I'm not going to change in that regard. But again, let me know what you guys want to see in terms of combat, stuff like that. But do realize that a lot of this is super time consuming, and it's a very open-ended system, and I don't have a rule book that I can just be like, oh yeah, this is how everything works in the game. Everything needs to be tested. I can find error because the testing system that we have access to isn't official, so there can be a lot of mistakes to be made in there. So do take that with a grain of salt, that like everything that I say is not word of law, and that we're all human, we make mistakes, and that it's really hard to make content where a lot of what you're doing can be corrupted by variables, etc. But this has just been a shorter video, not so short as with me always, but discussing in terms of what we're doing. Again, let me know if you guys have specific inquiries in terms of content, or if there's stuff missing from builds that you guys like to see, or stuff like that. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with me, supporting me, allowing me to do the goofy stuff that I do. I would, like, really, this means a lot, that I can literally sit in my house all day, write guides, typing, interacting with people. Like, it's the dream, really. And it's not anywhere near in terms of stable as I'd like, but it's still a start, and it will only grow further, and I'm really honored that it's going to be with you guys there on the other end. So thank you so much for everything that you've done, everything that we'll be doing together, and so on. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a good one.